Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk with Chris. I am Chris Linney, and today we are going to break down everything that's happened in the world of sports in the past week. So let's waste no time and get right into it. Yesterday was game one of the Stanley Cup final between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. It was a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup final. And what a game it was. Just absolutely incredible atmosphere in Edmonton. They got this game started just a minute and 6 seconds in, where Leon Draisaitl puts a puck right past Sergei Bobrovsky to make it 1-0 Oilers. And then the Panthers get a goal halfway through the first period to tie the game up at 1. On the power play, the Oilers challenged the goal, but the goal stands as the Oilers go to yet another penalty kill, and the Panthers scored on that power play as well to take a 2-1 lead. And that was the score at the end of the first period. And then the second period came along. The Panthers got a goal early. Sam Bennett, 2 goals in this game. He has 11 road goals in the playoffs, which is truly remarkable for a guy like Sam Bennett, who is a very physical player, but he also knows how to shoot the puck and get those big goals, especially in the playoffs. And then the Oilers got a goal shortly after that in the second period to make the game 3-2. And then we go to the third period. It was a very tight checking period. Edmonton gets a goal halfway through that period to force overtime. Mattias Ekholm got his first goal of the playoffs, and then overtime came along. Both goaltenders were making some amazing saves, and it was just a real back and forth overtime. The Oilers were the better team in that overtime, I thought, and that caused them to get the game winner with 30 seconds left in overtime. Leon Draisaitl, 2 goals in this game. He led the NHL in goals this season with, I believe, 54. He got the overtime winner in this one, and the Oilers win game 1 to take a 1-0 series lead in the rematch against the Florida Panthers. Now on to the NFL. Aaron Rodgers has just signed a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he is going to be the starting quarterback for the Steelers this season after going a full offseason, depending on what he wants to do. He didn't want to go back to the Jets for another year because that really turned out great for him. So he decides that he is going to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers, just a 1-year deal. He is now currently, I believe, 41 years old. So this is going to be he has been in the league for quite some time, and he's just getting used to being part of the free agent class like he has been throughout the past 2 years. And I think that the Steelers are the perfect fit for Rodgers because they lack one position in particular, and that position is quarterback. They have not had a consistent quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger retired. I believe in 2022, they went with Mitchell Trubisky. Last season, they kind of had a bit of a switcheroo. Kenny Pickett wasn't really all that. And then last year, they went between Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Justin Fields ended up signing with the Jets, and Russell Wilson is now the starting quarterback for the New York Giants this season. So it's been a bit of a back and forth for the Steelers at the quarterback position, especially in the last couple of years. But now they got their guy. They got Aaron Rodgers. They got the guy that's going to take them over the hump, and he is hopefully going to lead the Steelers to another playoff series. I don't know if they're going to win a playoff game this year, but it should be interesting to see if the Steelers could really finish above 500 on another year under Mike Tomlin as well, who has been their head coach since 2008. And now we are going to talk about the MLB and everything that's happened around the MLB this week, as we've had some pretty big series this week. The Baltimore Orioles have now won 5 games in a row after starting the season 19-36. They have won their last 5 games. They have taken the first 2 games of their series against the Seattle Mariners, who have really not been playing well after they've had a very strong start to the year. Another team that's kind of been on the decline since the start of the year is the San Francisco Giants. Talking about their offense, last night was the first time since May 16th that they have scored more than 5 runs in a game. They ended up beating the Padres 6-5 after starting the game being down 5-0. And the bullpen for the Giants has really been a strong spot for them. Their pitching in general has been great all season, but the hitting has definitely taken a turn for the worse, especially throughout the past few games. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the best team in baseball right now, which is the Detroit Tigers, who have been fantastic all season. Their pitching has been spot on. Tariq Skubal is definitely in consideration for another Cy Young going back to back. He won the AL Cy Young last season, and this season he definitely has a shot to claim that once again. And for the National League, it's been a bit of a hit or miss time for the Dodgers as of late, as they have now just lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets. They're currently playing right now, but the Mets have definitely been a very strong team this season. They did go through a little bit of a rough patch in the middle of May, but they've snapped out of it. They've taken 2 out of 3 from the LA Dodgers, which of course is great because we all know how good the Dodgers are. We all know how good that pitching rotation is. We all know how good their offense can be at sometimes. But the Mets pitching has been fantastic throughout the past few games. Tuesday was a little bit iffy for the Mets. They did lose 6-5 in the 10th inning to the Dodgers. But their pitching as of late, especially in the last couple of games, has been fantastic with Griffin Canning, who has been amazing so far this season. He had another really good performance on Wednesday night against the LA Dodgers. And now back to the American League, not the Oakland Athletics anymore because they don't play there. They're simply now just called the Athletics. I think that's pretty sad, but the A's have lost, I believe now it has been 19 out of their last 20 games after starting the season 23-21, which is not good for the A's. They currently have the lead right now today against the Minnesota Twins. They're in Game 4 of their 4-game series, currently playing right now. But I don't know what's going on with the A's. I know they're already fed up with their ballpark. They don't like the city of Sacramento, which is understandable. And I think the fan base is also kind of fed up with the owner of the team, John Fisher, kind of leaving the team out to dry. That's kind of what it feels like. That's kind of what it's been feeling like throughout the past few years with the Athletics, especially their last few years in Oakland, where the team really got bad after the 2021-22 offseason, where they traded literally everyone on that team. They traded Matt Chapman to the Blue Jays. They traded Matt Olson. They've also traded Sean Murphy. Just very turbulent times for the Athletics throughout these past few years, especially the last 3 years that they had in Oakland. And a lot of people are upset. A lot of people are upset at the owner for the decision to move the team. And it's just been a real roller coaster for the Oakland Athletics this season. I'm still calling them the Oakland Athletics. I don't really think that they should be called the Athletics. I think that's kind of I personally think it's kind of stupid, the fact that they don't have a city affiliation for them until they move to Vegas in a few years. But the Athletics are not playing great baseball right now, and it's all up to them to kind of snap out of it. Also, the Colorado Rockies starting the season 12-50, the worst start to a season in MLB history. Although they did sweep the Miami Marlins earlier this week, they still have a lot to prove as a team, and they're just not. They haven't been to the playoffs since 2018, and they are absolutely not going back to the playoffs this season. That's already been decided, and it is June. It is June 5th, and this team is not going to the playoffs. It's basically already been decided. Now we're moving on to the NBA. Today is game 1 of the NBA Finals between the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is going to be a fun series to watch. Two young teams, two gritty teams going at it. The Thunder had the best record in the NBA this season, finishing 68-14, and the Indiana Pacers were the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference going into the playoffs this year. They finished with a record of 50-32. The Pacers ended up beating the Milwaukee Bucks in 5 games in the first round, and then in the second round, they rolled over the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games, and then they defeated the New York Knicks in the third round. That took 6 games. The Oklahoma City Thunder, I think, have had it a little bit tougher than the Pacers, even though they did sweep the Grizzlies. That was pretty much easy work for them. And then in the second round, the Nuggets took them to 7 games. That was an incredible series. And then they beat the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games. So the Oklahoma City Thunder going to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2012 after they lost in 5 games to the Miami Heat that season. The Indiana Pacers are going to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2000, back in the Reggie Miller days. These are two young, fun teams. I'm very excited for this series. Game 1 is tonight, and it's going to be a very interesting series. I think that the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win the series in 6 games. It's going to be a very tough, grinded out series. Both teams are very good on the offensive and defensive side of the balls. So it's going to be very interesting to watch. So that'll do it for this update in sports here on this Thursday afternoon. I am your host, Chris Linney, for Sports Talk with Chris, and I will see you next time. Take care, everyone.